want to kick this off and put the
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. And Melanie, just so glad that you're here. And we love you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely. And we also have Dr. Hank on the call, and he is going to really elevate our team, to the next level. For those that don't know him, quickly, he's a mental scientist. He's a highly successful business person. He's considered the coach of coaches. He's my personal coach for the last almost 3 years now, I think. Right? He has over 17 books, including The Crystal Princess, which I had the honor to co-author with him, and he channels directly with divine intelligence. And on top of all of that, people call him the angel whisperer. So today, Dr. Hank is here to show us how to really tap into new levels of success and really making business not just easier, but more profitable than ever
yeah.
before. So get ready, take notes, because what you're about to hear could be the game changer for you and your team. So with that, Dr. Hank, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Deborah, our crystal princess. And oh, it's just such exciting news that we have everything, that has happened before and in this business that we've really been preparing for. Like we were in the spring before planting seeds and talking about how, like, calling on doctors and what's the best way to do this and who could write a prescription that people would actually use our patented formulas. And it all came together, and it came together this month, which is September of 2024, that the entire compensation program changed for our benefit, that just one doctor with 100 patients that are on the patented formulas, that you'll make 1,200 on average, $1,200 per month. And so you don't need many doctors to make a lot of money, okay, and to help a lot of people and to increase the wealth. And one doctor with 1,000 patients, which is actually very easy. In fact, I see Jenny there. She has a doctor that has 10,000 patients. And with just 10% of those patients wanting to have better health, preventative health before not having to go to the doctor, that with 1,000 patients, you would make $12,000 a month. And so it's incredible. It's a whole new world for us, a new compensation plan. And we have all the steps for you to go in and share this good news. And I'd like to start out with looking at, like, what are your activities? What are the things, inspired actions that you can take that will help you to be wildly successful? All of you should easily make a six-figure income annually by this time next year when we're talking. And some of you will make a six-figure income per month. That's $100,000, over $100,000 per month. And this is all very possible, very easy. We have lots of people that are doing this, and there's lots of money, lots of everything. This is an abundant life, and welcome to it. So I would suggest that you write down these 5 activities, inspired actions that will help you to be wildly successful. And here they are. The first one, and the most important, is to plan. And that includes the joy shop in the morning. That includes being very deliberate and intentional about how you want your day to be, how you want your life to be, what you appreciate in your life. There's so many things, and all of that will raise your vibration and raise your point of attraction. So planning, and I would say that, the day before, so at the end of today on Monday, you would plan tomorrow and look at, what do I want to do? And so what are those activities? So the first one, again, is plan. It's the most important. That when you plan and you start asking God for what you want, you'll get it. Ask and you shall receive. The Father does the work. The second one, real easy, call on doctor's offices, doctor offices. And every doctor, and to really embrace and understand this, that the only devil there is that is working against you is your own little committee saying things like, oh, I don't want to bother these doctors, or they're busy, or I'm nervous, or I'm not confident to go in. All that's bullshit. Okay. It's not the truth at all about who you are. You're made in the image and likeness of God. And I'm sharing with you that every doctor wants what you offer. Guaranteed. And we'll get into that more on doctors and why that is. But they may not understand it when you first walk into that doctor's office. But once they hear about what you have to offer, they want you. And I'll briefly just share, why do they want you? Because you can help the health of their patients, because they can help the health of their patients at the doctors every month. They can get paid by the patients every month, and they don't have to see the patients every month. You get that? It's like amazing. It's just amazing. The doctor, every doctor you talk about can now help the health of their patients every month, get paid by their patients every month, and not have to see their patients every month. It's like, oh my gosh, this is like they just landed in heaven. And they did. So that's high payoff act number two, is to call on doctors. The second one, and the third high payoff activity, is to follow up. This following up. So if you knock on, we just had, I think the numbers are, and the numbers are something like this. Robin decided to not listen to the committee, decided to play with God, walk with God, and to go share the good news. So she invested 2 hours and calling on doctors and knocking on doors, opening these doors. And the overall thing that she said about those 2 hours is she had fun. So whatever your committee is telling you, just forget it. Okay. This is fun. You meet people, you're able to connect with people, and you're not selling anything. You're providing them amazing value to increase their patient's health, to increase their own profits within the office, within their business. That it's incredible. And you have all kinds of offerings, and we'll get into all the different things you have. But if you called on 10 offices today, next Monday, go back, follow up, go back and call on them again. I don't care what they said the first time. Okay. When Robin went, that the first office she called on, first doctor said, cool, when can I meet with you? So she got an appointment on the very first call. And the worst, if you will, which really isn't bad at all, and this is the worst that can happen to you, by the way, is one doctor did say no, or the office or whatever. Okay. So you're not going to get shot by this. You're not going to go to jail, not lying to anybody. And so you really need to understand who you are and what you offer. And they need to see you, and for you to be confident and to say that I love being more confident now. I love sharing the good news now. You just immerse yourself with these thoughts, and you'll become angelic and an angel of communication. So the follow up isn't just going back to them and say, hey, whatever, Mary, yeah, it was great talking to you last week. And Mary probably doesn't even remember you. Okay. It doesn't matter. That, hey, Mary, it's great talking to you. Hey, we talked about, and whatever you talked about. So every call that you make, that when you leave, write notes. I talked to Mary that she has 2 kids, that she really is interested in her health. She's not sure of the doctor, you know. And in the thing that you ask Mary or whoever that reception is, the face of the company, the office, if you will, that you say, I'd like to see the doctor. I'd like to schedule an appointment with the doctor. And what for? Because that's something very important that he wants to hear about. And then you just get in the conversation. You just say, I just want, and you keep on going back to the question is, when could I see the doctor? When could I schedule an appointment with the doctor? Now, follow up also includes, so when Robin was there, she got 2 appointments in a couple hours. She got 2 appointments with 2 doctors. In other words, she could start making $2,400 a month, right? $1,200 per doctor, just on 100 patients, $2,400 per month. What could you buy with 20 or pay for with $2,400 per month? Probably pretty much, right? Maybe your car payment, maybe your mortgage, maybe, whatever. But and she did this in a couple of hours, and so can you. And so on the follow-up, she also, when she left every office, she wrote notes. And some said, wow, this sounds great. Send me some more information. So you can set, and what I would recommend you do when you say that, that's great. I can drop off that information. I'm going to be in the area next Monday. And if they say whatever they say, but the follow-up is, what is the follow-up? You want to be in front of people. You stop, let's all stop hiding behind our phones and our computers. If you're behind your computer or if you're on the phone, that is not a high payoff activity that we're discussing here for you to be most successful. So you want to invest most of your time in these high payoff activities. Now, with follow up, so again, send them information, whatever that is, go knock on their door again. Most people don't accept new ideas till at least 6 or 7 times. So knock on their door. And often, and so every week, the same people, whatever, and you'll start connecting with people. And like Robin said, this is fun. You're going to have fun doing this. Now, with follow up is also close. And so, in other words, you got they're engaged in business with you. So it's follow up and close. I'm following up in order to have them experience this value that I offer. So it's not just talking about what I have, and it's just not following up, but it's make sure that we actually get in there and help this doctor with his business, his or her business, help the patients of this doctor. That's our responsibility. Now, just hearing those 3 on you, and right now, that's most of what most of us should be engaged in. There are 2 others that I'll get to here in a minute. But what do you like best about those high payoff activities of planning, calling on doctors' offices, and then following up and closing?
Dr. Hank, I'd say follow-up is absolutely a necessity. I have a gal that's about 200 miles from me in Arizona. She works in Metro Phoenix. She drives an incredible amount of time. And she was on the Wednesday night call. She was very interested. Then I didn't hear anything from her for about 5 days. Yeah. So I followed up, and I have an appointment with her to demo the device. She works at a dermatologist's office. So follow up is necessary.
Follow up is essential. You're right. And you may, the committee wants to say like, oh, I don't want to bug these people, or oh, they're busy or whatever. Everybody wants you and what you offer. Okay, that this is important to that, like with Dr. K's medical office there, that it's important. They need to hear that. They want this. And remember, and so why didn't that lady get back to Dr. K? Because her committee, remember, 80% of the time that people are being managed by the committee. So her committee is saying, oh, I'm too busy to talk to Dr. K, or oh, I can't add another thing. No. You just add this thing. Okay. We're the priority here. We're what everybody wants. And we really and truly are. And in fact, I'll take a few minutes here to share with you that so because of the insurance industry and how doctors are compensated with insurance companies, they don't make much money. I'm working with a dentist right now, and that's something you may want to look at too, is what niche market do you want? Because there's plenty of dentists. Okay. Deborah actually has identified her niche is going to be dentists. And PharmNext has lots of information and testimonials about whatever you want to get into. She wanted to get into dentist. And if you want to get into dentistry, I'm sure Deborah can, just send you the information so that you become a master of dentistry, talking to dentists. And so, and you can do whatever, aging, a doctor that does aging, whatever it is. And whatever you like, whatever you want to get into, there's plenty of it. Just go to it. But back to that, so I'm working with the dentist. And so, first of all, dentists are really great because what are the patients coming in for? Preventative health, right? Because they're getting their teeth cleaned. Okay, they don't have a cavity necessarily. The only time the doctor makes money, and if you go to a corporate dental office, they're always saying, hey, we got a saw on you, we got a drill on you, whatever, because that's where the money is. Okay. However, there's not a lot of money there. In fact, most of the patients that go in and see the dentist, they see the dental hygienist, and insurance basically pays for the dental hygienist. The doctor doesn't make really any money on that. So the dentist, to make money, and this one dentist that I'm working with right now, they're starting to specialize in things that are covered by insurance. It's very profitable, mainly cosmetic, and that insurance companies, won't pay. I have a medical doctor that I have helped, actually down in Florida, that was a general practitioner, family medicine, whatever. And he said, I'm not making any money on this. And so he went into, and he now has 3 offices. He went into basically giving facelifts. And people, just love him because again, insurance doesn't do it. And he's very wealthy and successful now. And he's helping people and doing what they want. So the bottom line is that every doctor, every medical office you're talking to, that they would like to increase the health of their patients, and they would like to increase their profit, their revenues, and then after costs is profit. With us, it's all profit to them. That we send them a check once a month. They don't have to do any billing, nothing. And all they do, and I think Melanie had brought up last time about all you have the doctor, when you're talking to the doctor, you just write a prescription. And they're used to writing prescriptions. Oh, good. But think, every prescription that a doctor makes, in fact, every person that walks into that office that isn't a patient is asking that doctor for money and not paying them anything. So take a pharmaceutical rep. That pharmaceutical rep is coming in and saying, oh, take this drug, it'll increase the health of your patients. And guess what? It's illegal for the pharmaceutical rep to pay that doctor anything. Literally, it's illegal. So they can't pay them anything. In other words, the doctor isn't compensated by one prescription that they write. And isn't that amazing? I mean, when you look at that, oh my God, these people have enough nerve, these pharmaceutical reps have enough nerve to walk in and say, hey, buy me, and I'm not going to pay you anything. You got it made. You got, hey, I can help the health and I can help your wealth. Doggies. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So a way to increase the health. Well, so every doctor is looking for you. Every doctor wants what you offer. And that's why you be persistent, kind, loving, and persistent. When can I schedule an appointment with the doctor? A communication in person is the best way to communicate and get what you want. And that's why one of the reasons why we're going to doctors in person, and why So your impression, your communication, 60% of it is your body language. You don't get the body language on a computer sending an email, and you don't get it on a telephone call. So you miss 60% of your message. Then 30% of your message is your tone of voice. Well, on a computer sending an email, you miss the tone of voice. So basically 90%, like an email is the worst way to communicate. If it's the only way, if it's the last shot, hey, maybe they'll get it, maybe it won't go into spam, maybe they'll read it, but it's very ineffective. And know also, if people say, oh, that's very interesting, and send me something, they just told you no. You got to understand that. They told you no. And so you need to say, hey, great, I'll send you something. And when can I schedule an appointment with the doctor? And so the doctor can read it. The odds of the doctor actually reading this or whatever, doing this, it is very great, if you will. And because they think they're busy, everybody thinks they're busy. And the fact is that we have plenty of time. There's 168 hours in the week, and I guarantee every one of you that you have at least 20, 30, 40 hours of free time. And what are you doing with it? And but your prayer, whatever you say, if you say you're busy, you will be busy. So your thoughts, comments on this so far? What do you like best? Come on.
Dr. Hank and Deborah and team, what you're conveying today is just right on, and I just love it all. We're headed in the right direction. I have the best team ever, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you.
That's fantastic, Lori. You bet. And what I would suggest, here's the other good news on this. If you just schedule 3 hours a day to call on doctors, do an office building, drive to dentists, whatever you want to do, chiropractors, whatever, that if you'll just do 3 hours per day this week, I guarantee you'll have a doctor and you'll be making $1,200, once we get them implementation. And the implementation is high payoff activity that we'll get to in a minute. But that's all you need is 3 hours a day. So we're not saying, hey, you're going to have to start working 80 hours a week. Okay. No, you just get to go in and share with people what they want. And again, they don't know because that you are the one, you're the answer. Okay. And that's a great statement to say. I love being the answer. Yeah, I love walking in there. When you have that confidence, you just walk in. I got the answer to what your doctor. How do you know what my doctor? Well, does your doctor want to increase the patient's health? Yes. Would your doctor like to increase their income, passive income? Yes. Would your doctor like to every month increase the health of their patients by taking the patent formulas? Okay. And would your doctor like to have, and so catch this, just 1,000 patients. So most doctors have at least 5,000, whatever. So let's say 20% of your patients, 1,000, and they do 1,000 patients, which is easy peasy. Most people, doctors, when they write the prescription, people are going to fill it and use it. Okay. And so 1,000 will get them over $300,000 a year. I mean, like, my gosh. And you'll get $120,000 a year. I mean, this is no kidding. This is it. It's like you'll be paid $10,000 a month, whatever. How many, raise of hands, how many people would be able to live on $10,000 a month? Yeah. And it's just one doctor and really doing a good job in high payoff activity number 4, which is implementation. So plan, call on doctors, follow up and close, and number 4, implementation. And we're not going to talk about implementation per se right now. But there's all kinds of things that we've learned because we've been going to doctors for before this compensation when we figured this out that, hey, we go to doctors, it's a much easier path. This will be easy. This will be fun. This is what we want to do. And so as you go and realize that wow, that it really just takes one doctor and just 3 hours a day. That's all I'm asking you to do, 5 days a week, and call on doctors. Now we have scripts on, like, we have this one, and so Deborah has, and like Robin has, whatever, but I have this one that it basically says, open the door, smile, say hi. Okay. That's all you need. Give them a compliment and say, hey, I'd like to schedule an appointment. Don't say anything, or you can say your name and that you're a preventative health medicine expert, medical expert, preventative medical expert. Is that the term that we used, Emma? Is that right?
Yep, preventative medicine expert.
Yeah, preventative medicine expert. And basically what that does is tell them what you're not doing. It doesn't really, I mean, you're doing it, but it doesn't tell them any detail. And I need to schedule an appointment with the doctor. When is the doctor available to meet with me? And you will be amazed on what people say, like, oh, they meet, I can get an appointment set up, and what's this about, whatever. And so it's easy peasy. So 4 is implementation. We can talk a little about that. We'll talk about that more next month as you start talking to these doctors and you need implementation. But we have all the handouts. Everything is already made for you too. We've literally spent whatever we invested the last year on making all this. And then number 5 is referrals. And so that's referrals from the doctors to other doctors. The doctors make more money, you make more money. And then it can be referrals also and we didn't touch, it's not really a high payoff activity, but if you're not planning, if you're not engaged at the time with calling on, so if you planned already, if you invested 3 hours calling on doctors, if you invested an hour, whatever, every day on follow-up, praying for these people too. Pray for them. I prayed for our team today. Did you pray for your team? And that this prayer is powerful. And so pray for these prospects, for these doctors, and then have them understand, open the door, show me the way on how to be able to help these doctors. And so if you're not planning, if you're not calling on doctors, if you're not doing follow-up and closing, and you're not into implementation yet, then you could call on medical reps. And medical reps is like through LinkedIn, and you could do an ad, kind of like the old days. And those are really the old days where we were calling on people, usually without jobs and money, and trying to have them a distributor, with us. Those days are gone. We're not doing that anymore. That we're calling on doctors. Why? Doctors, when they prescribe, that the odds of them actually doing the subscription, the monthly subscription, skyrockets. And because if I just tell, or if any of us just say, oh, we think you should take this, maybe they will, maybe they won't. Their doctor tells them to do, they probably will do that. And so if you're not doing that, again, run ads with them, and the way to talk to them, and like the way that I would recommend you talk to medical reps is using and we have a medical rep business assessment. And so again, these are available. Deborah has them, she'll put them on the wall or whatever. But when you talk to them, ask them, hey, what level of stress are you at currently? And you may say, like, what does that have to do with anything? It has to do with I care about this rep or I care about the doctor. Same similar question to the doctor. In fact, I'd rather talk about the doctor. So we have the medical rep on what you talk to them about, but with the doctor, that one of the things you can walk into the doctor's office and say, I'd like to speak with a doctor, when can I have an appointment with the doctor? And what would you talk about? Well, I have a business assessment and it just takes 15 minutes. And I'd like to do this business assessment. Again, we have the handout and all the questions to give. I built a multi-million-dollar international consulting company doing what I'm sharing with you right now. You do a business assessment. And in that business assessment, and you can tell whoever the receptionist, whatever, yeah, a business assessment. And I can guarantee you that this business assessment will flush out a way to increase the health of your patients and also to increase bottom line profit by over $300,000 per year. Wow. And doesn't cost you anything. Wow. Yeah. When can I see the doctor? Okay. And you may say, why are you telling them it doesn't cost anything? Well, if they don't want to get a scanner, you can scan them and you can make the 300,000. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to skin this cat, and it's all very profitable. So on the business, so the business assessment, again, here it is, and that, what level of stress are you at? Doctor's saying, wow, I haven't been asked that question. Nobody asked the doctor that question. Okay, their patients are all telling them whatever, and are you happy with your work-life balance? Because they can actually start moving out of the seeing the patients all the time. See, think about how doctors are paid. It's piecemeal. In other words, I have to see a patient to get paid. And if I don't see any patients, if I'm gone for 2 weeks or whatever, then I don't get paid. And it's like, wow, would you like to be paid every month? And you can go to like 2 weeks, I'm going to Italy, Lake Como, be in a yacht. And so that doctor won't be paid anything if they're doing week to, one patient get paid. Do you have enough time? Ask them, because you're going to give them enough time. Do you have enough energy? They're going to have enough energy because they don't have to keep on seeing all these patients, whatever. How many patients do you? So now we get into the overall on the business, and the questions of how many patients do you currently have? Why do you want to know that? Because you want to do, hey, if they say 10,000 patients, just 10% of your patients that take your subscription and follow what you advise them to do, that'll guaranteed increase, proven to increase their health, that you'll make $300,000 a year. Wow. Would you like to increase your patient count? So we can help them in a lot of areas. And you may say, well, how do I increase the patients? We got all kinds of stuff, okay? And in fact, one of the things that we have a forum, an international forum in November 7th through the 9th, and I will give them this flyer. And so like how I would recommend you, let's take a break and say, what are your thoughts, questions, comments? What do you like best? Let's talk this a little. Do you agree these are your high payoff activities? Can you do this? Do you have are you little anxious about calling on doctors' offices? Come on. Come on, you guys.
I'll speak since nobody's jumping in. Hey, no, this is really good. The key really is just like Dr. Kay said, is in the follow-up. And you've gone through a lot of different things, different ways that we can add those things to them. It's just a matter of getting that to where that is really easy for us. The business assessment's great. Using those tools that we have, kind of keeping them in. I'm in the process of like putting together a like presentation book basically, and not to go through the whole book with them, but that I have in organized right there. If something comes up, look, I have with all the tools in it. So
So,
that you have that to, you know, refer to there without getting put off again. And, you know, the different things have like invite pages of all these different things that we can get them installed, which that I would not show them, but just so it's foremost in my head, you know, get them
yeah,
on a three-way call, get them on the Wednesday night calls, get them to the
yeah,
forum, you know, all the different things that we want to move to the next step without doing the scanner. And then like what you
yeah,
said too, is setting up a health fair. You know, I'll come in and
yeah.
do a health fair for you so you can
Mhm.
see how it is. You can see what response before you ever, you know, spend a
Yeah,
penny, you know.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
you know, I'm happy to do that for you. And, you know, if you want to go ahead and invest in the scanner, you know, then all that money will go to you for all those patients. I'll still come do it for you, but then you get all the funds for it, you
yeah.
know. So
Beautiful, beautiful. Yep,
so
you're right on, Caroline.
that's my input.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Deborah.
And that's awesome, Carolyn, and I love that. And absolutely, I mean, I think that for a while I was overcomplicating it, you know, and I think a lot of us try to do that, or we don't mean to. It's a committee, right? But for me, like a couple weeks ago, I went into a practice, or it's like well, it's a med spa, but they have a lot of clients coming in, and I spoke with somebody there, and they reached out to me on Sunday saying, "Hey, let's do an event together, you know, for breast cancer." Because next month is breast cancer awareness. So I put some
Good,
flyers and some things together and shared it with them. And then they're like,
good.
"Oh, and then can you come by before that? I want to see the device." They haven't seen the device yet. And I'm like,
Wow.
"Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'll come by and we're going to go over other ways to market it. And if they
Yeah,
don't get the device, that's fine. You know, I'll be there scanning everybody coming in,
yeah,
and eventually, I think, you know, what's happened in the past is they start seeing people really interested, that they're like, "Oh, hey, you know, I do need this. People need to know this number and the importance of it." So, um, and when I just went in there, it was just a simple conversation, you know, with somebody. It was just,
beautiful.
I pre-paved it, another divine, you know, person. She
Yeah,
was so lovely. And I just went
beautiful.
inquiring about services that
Hmm.
they had.
Beautiful,
And
beautiful.
so it's just not, I don't need to bring everything with me. You know, I don't feel like, I
Mhm.
feel like, yes, you can have the tools, you know, with you, of course, but I think
Yeah,
it's just that connection is
yeah,
number one, and
absolutely.
building that. And I continued throughout the few weeks since I saw her last, you know, inviting them, sending the newest news clip, you know, with Dr. David Felds in the news a few weeks ago, right? So I sent that out. And
Yeah,
so just to share interest. So yeah,
right.
it can be very fun, and it's in
Yeah,
our backyard.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Everything is within 10 miles of each one of you, 10-mile radius, and you have all the business that you would ever want.
One
And
more thing I would add that I feel like I've messed up on a little bit is asking more questions, spend less time explaining, selling, ask them
yeah,
like what exactly what you said.
yeah,
And then that can also take the awkwardness out. Everybody likes to talk about themselves. So
right.
just
Yeah,
asking them what they're doing and, you know, that type of thing, that really warms people up.
yeah, very good.
And you can
Yeah,
always bring
yeah,
it back to what we're doing, you know, whether what
Absolutely.
they're doing, you can always bring it, always can relate it back to
yeah.
nutrition, to preventative medicine, to,
Mhm.
you know, the importance of antioxidants and cellular health. So absolutely, because inflammation, all of it. So
Yeah.
this is good.
I
Thank you.
just
Yeah,
have two questions real quick. The
yeah.
antioxidant health assessment, is that the same as the business assessment?
No,
Okay,
Yeah.
Deborah, could you be so kind to email that to me, please?
the antioxidant or business?
No, I have the antioxidant, but I don't have the business assessment that Dr. Hank was referring to. And I
Sure.
think that's a good tool. And then secondly, can anyone tell me what region, because I looked on the locator, I might be missing this, what region in the US the scanner is more used, where it's more populated? Is it Southwest? Is it Northwest? This question came up to me the other week, last week, and I said I would look into it.
Yep.
Do
You can
we
always
know?
call the company for specific questions on that, like scanner
Okay.
support might be able to know or send you a graph
Okay.
as well, or
All righty. Thank you.
we can look into.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And,
Thank you so much.
and
Lori, I'd
whenever,
also always ask them why they're asking you that question.
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to ask, what do you want to know? And because, I want to understand the question. That's why I'm asking, why do you want to know that? And
Yeah.
tell me more. And because, well, if they're using it a lot in our area, that there's too much competition. And the answer is there's no competition. You already have the answer. So, because whatever they're looking for, it really doesn't matter where the heck the scanner is around the world. I mean, it doesn't impact their business whatsoever because it's their business, their patients. They can have, in fact, Deborah had a place up in Boston where they were literally right across the hallway from each other. We have our own separate patients. So,
Okay.
yeah. Mhm.
Would you still call the company just to take that
I'm sure
further
you can
step?
answer
Okay.
it. Yeah,
All
for
right.
right now, when you get back to them, and if you can see them in person, and get back to them and say, hey, I got the answer to your question. I wanted to know before you give the answer. Why did you want to know on how many people, And whatever they say, oh, I want to make sure it's the less scanners in our area or whatever. Again, oh, great. Well, here's the answer. There's scanners more in the Southeast and we're in the Southeast, whatever. But the good news is it doesn't matter because these are
Got
your
it.
patients. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you for that
Yeah.
clarity.
Dr.
Yeah,
Hank,
beautiful. Yeah.
I'm speaking with the gal. I'm going to set a scanner with her this afternoon.
Right.
She was in San Antonio. She's an FNP, and she wondered how many scanners were in San Antonio and Austin. So
Yeah.
I went to the locator and I looked it up, and there are 9, and there's 4.5 million people, and there's only 9 of them.
Right.
And I said,
Right.
just think about this. There's 1.1 million physicians in the U.S., and everyone should have one. I said, you want to go out to 1.1 million? I said, there's room for everyone. And she got it.
Yeah.
She got it.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's great. So I'm going to give you some, and we have a few minutes left here, and I wanted to give you some real hands-on tools to help you call on offices because this is all you need to do. And you really have everything that you want. One of the things I would have a folder. I would have a folder where you can slip in handouts, and just in case, kind of like what Carolyn was recommending, but have separate copies. And even in your car, I would do a folder with copies. Like for example, of the forum, I would do a folder and have 20 color copies in there or whatever. And then when you preparing the day, planning the night before, hey, how many doctors? Let's see, I'm going to call on this office building. I'll be calling on 10 that, maybe I need 10 of these, for example. But I'm going to give you the list of kind of what things to have with you. So you would just have a smaller folder with some copies. The first one is this forum. And by the way, these forums can be custom made. So I have my virtual assistant that will do all this on what technology is it, Deborah, that she uses that?
Canva.
Yeah, Canva. And on Canva, and so you can just tell, Deborah, Robin, whoever your one-up manager is, that to get this custom made. And it's hard because, see, you're not just some little person running around trying to sell something. This is an international forum. And you are backed by $1 billion company, and you want to invite this doctor because it's important. And the reason why we want to invite the doctor, and if they come, you'll close them. Okay, once they see what we actually have, you'll close them. But it doesn't have to be. Mainly, this creates your credibility. And on the front and back of this page, here's the back on it, that it gives some, information on it. That's all the information you need to help them be engaged and get the appointment. Your goal is to get the appointment. Another thing, you may be talking to them and say, hey, And they say like, hey, it's breast cancer month next month. And I'll be darned, it is. And you know what I do? I have a super health and welfare. And I can do again. We already made this up. We can get a change for you, and so you can invite, say, we could do a health fair. You can email everybody about this health fair, and we can have it in your office. Or if the doctor would like to, have it off location someplace, we can do. And then they said, well, what would you do at the health fair? Oh, and then you have this flyer, the 3 steps to good health. Okay, the 3 steps to better health. And you have that because this is what you're going to be talking about. Or you could just do you could just do a seminar on at the office on a Saturday, whatever. The whole point is for you to get engaged with the staff and the doctor. With your objective is an appointment with the doctor. And that appointment, I wouldn't suggest you throw all over them on, oh, I got this and it's the best. That I'd ask them questions from the business assessment, and say, hey, I just have this business assessment. And then when you go through that, they'll see you care about them. You care about their business, and you have an answer for them. And then you can start getting into how easy it is, okay, to do. And just a comment on, don't be preparing about, oh, if they don't like it, that then we can do this, whatever. You go in there, they're getting this, they need this. This is the attitude we want. Okay, quit thinking about this other stuff about, well, if they don't say yes, or whatever. No, they're saying yes. This is what they're doing. Don't split up your energy with all kinds of, oh, gee, they're gonna blah blah blah. No, I'm gonna get an appointment with them, and they're gonna do this. If you have that attitude, they can feel that attitude, and they will be impelled to get that damn appointment for you. Okay. Now, another thing, 7 secrets to being a super ager. They say, what the hell is a super ager? And then you tell them these are people living in their 90s and more. And we got the 7 secrets according to these secrets is according to, let's see, where is that? It is anyway, some foundation, and it's in here someplace on that. Yeah, we have a way. The Einstein Institute, the Einstein Institute supports us. Okay, or we could talk about the scanner. We have a handout with the scanner on what the scanner can do and how it will help us. And again, all these I would have copies with you, and then the business assessment, and then you just take it easy. You're fully loaded. Have your scanner on you in case, hey, would you like to get scanned? Maybe you just walk in there and talk to whoever you're talking to, the first person you say, hey, I can measure your health at the cellular level. Would you like to do that? Just take it easy. Enjoy yourself. You have everything that they want. It's all a matter of building these relationships and to go in and share the good news. And you have such good news. And then the kicker again on this is it's fun. Just relax. Your committee is telling you, oh, I'm scared about going in. Just start doing this. So if you'll notice today, we didn't say one word about, hey, be calling people and, the first call and the second call and everything. That's not where the business is. Our cheese moved to a much better, more productive place for us to get paid lots more money and to help lots more people easily and quickly. So with that, any last thoughts, comments? And Deborah, I'll take it back to you.
This was
Good
amazing.
stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time here today, Dr. Hank, and spending it with us and showing us the way. And now we're ready. Let's do it. It's the last day of the month. So focus on your follow-ups today, and throw in a special for somebody if they want to get the scanner today. Say, I'll give you a box of collagen. It's your business, right? So just think of ways,
Yeah.
be creative with that. And yeah, so thanks again, Dr. Hank, and everybody for being here. Now let's go out there and take inspired action and make it the greatest day of our
Yeah.
lives.
And if I
Thank you,
can,
Jeff.
then
Thank you,
that is,
Dr. Hank.
yeah. And just one last thing, that here's the next step. And just start doing this in October. It's a new month, it's a new day, it's a new you. And you're gunned with everything you want, just 3 hours a day. And start today. And go out and talk to people. Talk to doctors' offices, share this good news. You'll see it is easy, it's fun, and it'll get better and better. And all of us will be having a big, huge party next year with all the money and all the service and health for the world that we've provided. Love you all. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
Bye.
Thank you.
I love you guys.
Thank you.
Send me a
Deborah-
text when you call on them.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. Love you.
Deborah, I have a quick question, and Dr. Hank.
Yeah.
Hi.
I think Dr. Hank
Okay.
left, but that's okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that's fine. You can help me. So I guess my question is, I love what you guys were talking about in regards to following up. My problem was last week is I felt like I didn't get any no's. I feel like everyone that I called on and talked to was like, okay, you can email it to me. Okay, let me ask the doctor and we'll get back to you, sort of thing. And I couldn't find a way to like get an appointment with the doctors. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, because they're like, oh,
So absolutely. So you definitely want to create some interest and curiosity. So I would recommend showing them the technology when you're there, and just saying, have you, even maybe Melanie or somebody else can, answer that too. But that for me, really does it, because they'll do anything to kind of brush you off and just say, oh yeah, just information. But when you're in there and you're connecting with them and you're scheduling an appointment to scan either the doctor or the staff, that's what makes a huge, difference, I believe.
Okay, so like show them the technology and say, hi, I'm Lydia. So do you say I work with Pharmanex, or what do you say when they're like, oh, what
I
is
work
the
with Get
charge?
Healthy USA. And we can have a coaching call too. Like we'll go over, I'll give you some good word tracking, you, myself, and Lacey. So in our chat, just send over a message with some times, and then we'll go over kind of a plan for you.
That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah,
I know
love
it's
your
probably
hair. It's beautiful.
You're so sweet. I did those like overnight curls. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, you did good. Like I like
Thank you.
I woke up like this. Like so
Stop, you're so sweet. I also I remember you lived in Florida, so I just wanted to say that I'm sending my prayers to you and your family too. I don't remember where you're at in Florida, but I just wanted to say that to you as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm in Tampa.
Yeah.
So
You're in Tampa. Okay.
Palm Harbor to be exact. Yes.
Oh wow.
But
Well,
we were
I won't.
actually safe. So thank God. But I know we have Melanie to pray for, who's on this call. And
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Melanie, I just wanted to say that. So I don't take that lightly. So I'll be praying for you and your family. But thank you for this call, Deborah.
You're welcome. So good to see you, Lydia. We'll set up a call this week.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Okay.
everyone. And Lydia, just so you know, I was going to chime in too. A lot of times when a doctor pushes me out the door, says, the receptionist or the gatekeeper, or whatever you want to call them, says, well, go ahead and send us an email. A lot of times I will tell them, yes, I can absolutely send you an email, but while I'm here, let me at least show you this so you can share this with the physician, what I showed you. Because if you make them feel more important, I had an OBGYN office do that, and then they're like, sure, the doctor will meet with you. I told them how cool this was. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're just kind of your way in. So that's just a little thought I wanted to share.
That was helpful. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they're the front desk girl. It doesn't matter, because if they see it, they're going to tell the doctor how cool it was. And hey,
So
maybe
do
we
you
should let
go
this girl
more
come
in person? I see. So do you go more in person than like calling, or what is most effective?
I
for
don't
you?
ever call the doctor's offices. They won't give you the time of day. They get so many reps calling. I personally walk in and just say, hey, I'm in the area. I love what you guys do here, depending on what it is. I try to research websites of if it's a wellness center, a chiropractor office. Hey, I see you do all these really awesome things, and I think what we have could align with what you're already doing. and add additional revenue while also enhancing your patient care. Can I just show you real quick what this technology can do? And if Doc's not available, please share it with Doc and see if we can circle back around to schedule a time to come in and follow up, like they said on this call. A lot of times I get that the first time in, but I do go back and say, hey, I was in last week. I know I showed you the technology. Did you have a chance to talk to the doc? I really would like to set that appointment. So that's pretty much my insight.
And then you follow up by going back in person again.
Yes,
Oh.
because then it's,
did it.
I was a rep for many years, and it usually takes, sometimes it takes 3, 4, 5 times of actually just stopping back in. Unless they give you a hard no, like get out, you know.
Mhm.
But if they're like,
Melanie
oh yeah,
did it
send an
with
email.
Infinite Wellness Centers. Remember, Melanie? That's what you
Yep,
did. You
I
went in
sure
there
did.
once, and then you followed up and they got the
They
scanner.
didn't answer emails, and then they came on.
Yep.
So
So you found that most helpful too, Deborah, like going in person, just showing it to the person there, like, hey, this is what the technology is, blah, blah, blah.
It just depends, but at least having it with me, you know, if it goes there, or having it on my shoulder.
sometimes I just pull it out of the bag just a tiny bit and say, have you ever seen a technology like this? It measures
Mhm.
at a cellular level faster and more accurate than a blood test. I would love to share this with you and Doc, you know. Depending on how big the office is, if it's a small office, large office, you just kind of have to customize everything.
So then what do you?
But like I
here's
said, I
my-
have a lunch with an OBGYN and I'm gonna go do a lunch with them. And I basically was honest and said, take it easy on me. I don't get that pharma pay no more because I kind of knew this office. But I'm just gonna
That's
take them
awesome.
some like little sandwiches or something because I also am sharing some of the other things I'm doing with my company. So, but
Oh,
there's some ideas there.
that's so helpful. And my next question, really quick, I was going to ask is I felt like when I was going in, like in the office last week I went in one day and the other days I was calling. But when I was going in person, they like don't have time. And they're like, oh, well, you know, the doctor has appointments like back to back to back. If you want to just email. Like I felt like when I was going in, it was wasting time because they're just so like busy. Do you know what I mean?
But that's what I was saying. If they say they're busy, say, I'll be glad to email some information, but I'll circle back around because I really need to get this in front of the physician so they can actually see the benefits of this.
And letting them know, like, you know, you can really help us. We're creating a shift from healthcare to prevention. And I really need to speak with the doctor about this. He needs to see this.
Sorry to chime in.
But
No, I
it's-
needed that.
Melanie, you're awesome. No, yeah, no, hopefully that was helpful. Melanie
That was so
amazing
helpful.
at it. So definitely.
I'm just writing down everything you're saying. That was so helpful. Thank you. This is my first sales position, Melanie. So I really appreciate any tips.
Oh,
Text in
no,
my
that's
way.
awesome. That's awesome. I had a couple of North Carolina people coming on today and now I can't reach them. So I'm assuming they were going to get their scanners yesterday. And I cannot get a hold of them and I'm frustrated, but I'm going to keep on rolling and I'm doing calls all day and I'm still going out despite all this.
Good for
So,
you. I have no excuses then. Damn.
gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, thank you both for your help.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Okay, thanks, Deborah.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. We'll talk soon, Lydia. Okay, we'll set up a call.
Okay.
Thanks
Bye,
everyone
Deborah.
for being here. All right, bye.
Bye.